saying, hey, I could have left early, yes, but you're only in college once, and we enjoyed that senior year.
When you're talking about a grade, I don't know much of what feedback you get. Is it a grade, a position in the draft, or they give you feedback like an evaluation of what they think your strengths and weaknesses are?
It's more of a, so it's either first, second, or go back to school grade, and I got to go back to school grade, but it was different because of the 6 number grades I got, 1, 1, 4, 4, 5, and 7 or something like that. So I was kind of like, well, that's a little bit skewed, that's kind of all over the place, but usually you're supposed to stick with that and kind of follow that. And I think in a sense, even if I would have had a first or second round grade, I probably would have stayed, just because that's the way I felt in my heart, and that's why I wanted to. I want to leave a legacy at Oklahoma State, and I want to win a Big 12 championship, and I want to graduate. So there was a lot of factors, and probably would have stayed anyways.
So did you get any feedback or feel of what they thought you need to work on?
No, that doesn't get that detailed. Because imagine how many juniors there are across the country. That, they can't sit down and give you a detailed evaluation, whatever that may be.
Does Coach Gundy ever talk to you about kind of quarterback to quarterback? Because even though he is almost 50, there's something kind of special of knowing what it's like, or is he just your head coach?
No, he's definitely a personal guy he can go to with anything. We got a new routine last year of watching film together for about an hour every morning, once a week, and kind of he would talk to me, I'd talk to him, I'd tell him what I liked, what I didn't like, and we'd kind of come up with some extra stuff, something to spin off on, maybe a new play, and that was good for us to grow together. And I think he's got a lot of. He obviously played quarterback for 4 years here, so there's a lot of similarities and a lot of tips sometimes that he'll throw out there that are helpful.
Mason, when you look back at the Bedlam game, I know it was bad weather conditions, but when you watch the film, you're like, okay, this is what went wrong.
Yeah.
What are the things you kind of been able to look back at and say, okay, we got to fix this?
Yeah, well, I mean, there's a lot. There was just execution. I obviously didn't play my best game there, and something that I would want to have back, but you can only learn from it. And I remember Matt Ryan talking about the Super Bowl, and they were asking, did you just turn your back and never watch it? He said, no, he said, I don't try to bury that. I try to watch it, and that's what I did the next day. And so I wanted to get better and improve myself from it and not make the same mistake twice.
Are you somebody who's like, what are the things with NFL-wise is you being critical on yourself to say, okay, these are the things I need to do to get better? You can obviously learn the offense that much more and get better timing camaraderie with the receivers, but what individually are the kind of throws you feel like you need to keep?
I think there's a lot of things you can nitpick, I'd say, but and I've gotten a lot more control as my career's gone on, but I've tried to chip away at our center. He makes a lot of the 6-man protection calls, and I've done a good job of asking for more on my plate, and I think I have gotten that. And there's a lot of times where you'll see this year I'll trump Brad instead of I see a safety rotation or something. I'll look I don't like, checking the play, getting out of the plays, but being able to manage never being a bad play. You never want to be in a bad place. So having built-in checks in my mind, things that I can prepare for during the week to get me ready and to be able to manage the offense the way I want to manage it.
What percent of the time do you end up checking in a game?
Percentage, I'd say we alert a lot of plays, so I'm not going to give you a percentage. I don't know, but it's a good bit of game. I mean, there's a lot of times last year we would watch a team like Kansas cover 4 all year, played cover 2 probably 80% of the game because they didn't want 28 to beat them single-handedly. So you got to make adjustments in games. You prepare for one defense the whole week, and that's all they've shown, and then they flip-flop on you because they know you got 28. So you got to be able to make adjustments.